Good morning. Hey, how you doing? Today we're going to talk about something that's very common in voiceover. It's the voiceover client bulk rate strategy. It's often offered to voiceover talent, and I've seen the strategy used and employed many, many, many times over my 17 years as a voiceover talent. I'm going to share with you what you should say and how you can negotiate and work your way through that strategy or decide whether you even want to engage with a client or not. We'll do that in just a second. My name is Bill DeWeese. I'm a professional voiceover talent, voiceover coach, and every weekday morning, right around 8 o'clock, we get together to talk voiceover. I like to share a thought, sometimes inspirational, motivational, but always practical, something that you can use to become more profitable in your voiceover business. Because at the end of the day, it's all about being able to make money in voiceover, unless you just want to do it as a hobby, in which case this channel may or may not be of interest to you. But if you find this to be helpful, there are over 700 videos on this channel that are all about helping you to become more successful, more profitable as a voiceover talent. So what is the voiceover client bulk rate strategy? Let me know, and by the way, as you begin to watch here this morning, if you would take just a moment in the chat stream to just let me know who you are, where you're watching from this morning. We'll do a little roll call. But let me know also, has a client ever approached you, or have you ever seen a posting of an audition for a job where the voiceover client wants the voiceover talent to record the project at what is an obviously low rate? And of course, low is relative for who you are, how long you've been doing this, that kind of thing. But generally speaking, it's pretty obvious that it's a very low rate with the promise of more voiceover work on the back end. That's why I call it the bulk rate strategy. So they come in and say, hey, I've got this job. It only pays this amount of money. Yeah, but I'm expecting to have 10 or 20 per month more like it. Have you ever seen that strategy employed? Now, I'm not saying every time that it is, the person who's using it is dishonest and that they're trying to trick you. But I will say this. In the times that I have accepted a job under those conditions, it is rare that ever actually happens. So whether intentionally trying to manipulate or deceive on the client side, can't say, don't know, can't judge. But what I can tell you all I'm interested in is what actually happens in reality. In reality, in my experience, it rarely, if ever, works out. So beware when somebody dangles the carrot of something, and again, if it's at a rate that you're comfortable with, and here's the way I approach it. Excuse me. Can I live with this rate forever? In other words, if I take this job, I'm going to assume that there is nothing on the back end, even though the client says, sure, probably 20 more jobs like in a month. I will never factor that in. I will say, I'll take it at face value. Is this job worth it for me to do it at this amount of money, knowing that I will probably never see another job like it on the back end? If the answer is yes, maybe I take the job. No harm, no foul. However, something that you can come back with to the client is this. The rate for this particular job is X amount of dollars, whatever it is that you want it to be. I will do it for X number of dollars. And if/when more projects become available, then we can talk about a reduced rate. So in other words, don't do it on the promise of volume. Do it on the reality of volume. So let's say you do the first job. And you do it at X number of dollars, which is the rate that you've said that you would do it for. Great. Well, after the first month, all of a sudden what the person said was actually came to fruition. It actually happened. You had like 10 other jobs like it. Well, then you can come back and have a conversation and say, based on the fact that we did 10 jobs this week, going forward, what I can do is this, and then outline whatever the deal is. But it's so, especially when you're earlier on in the voiceover journey, and I totally get it, it's easy to get caught up in the excitement of the possibility. You feel like you won the lottery. when somebody approaches you. It's like, oh my gosh, this is great. And only to find out that they were less than truthful, or what they were saying was what they were hoping would happen, but there was nothing in cement that would happen. So again, if it's a rate that you can live with, anticipate that you'll never see another job from that client again. And will you be happy with the job at the rate that they're paying? And if there are, by all means, take it. That's great. But don't do it because you've calculated in the fact that it's only worth it if you can get 10 more jobs like it or 20 more jobs like it per month. Because again, rarely in my experience, or anybody I've ever talked to, does that regularly actually happen? It's actually quite the opposite. And my suspicion is that most clients, I don't think they purposefully are lying. I think these are new projects that they have, great expectations for, and they think that there's certain things going to happen and pull through. And it was based on optimism and not in reality. And it just doesn't happen usually. So just something to be aware of. Hey, by the way, we're going to do a little roll call here in just a second. So if you haven't yet, make sure you let me know who you are and where you're watching or listening from this morning. But if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, do so. You're going to get notifications when I go live in the morning. And, of course, you want to stay up to date on all the latest, greatest, freshest content that I have available in VoiceOver. Make sure you check out the description below the video, because I've got some great resources there for everything from, recommended equipment, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, contact information, more information on my VoiceOver Blueprint program. So if you need VoiceOver training, you want to take it to the next level, that's where you plug in. That's where it begins, in the description. Okay, let's see what we got going on this morning. All right, we've got David from Louisville, Miriam from New Jersey, Bruce in Louisville as well. Good morning to all you guys. Sandra in South Africa. Good morning. Annie in Ottawa, Canada. Bruce, happy Motivational Monday to you as well. Hey, Piper in British Columbia. Franklin in Macon, Georgia. Rick, good morning. Or rather, Nate, I'm sorry. Good morning to you. Susan in Stormy, New Jersey. I'm guessing that's maybe some of the remnants of Hurricane Ian, leaving you with some nasty weather. And my hopes are that all of you who are in the deeper south there on the East Coast are faring well after all of the hurricane activity over the weekend, late last week. Steve in beautiful Bucyrus, Ohio. Jim in Englewood, or rather Greenwood, Montana. Yeah, my apologies about Friday. I wasn't here Friday. That's why you missed it. I had a dentist appointment, which I forgot to mention on Thursday, and it was like an early one, so I could not be here for that, and my apologies. Usually, if I'm not here, that's typically the reason. It's one of those kind of things. It's an appointment of some sort that I need to be at. But again, I'll try to make sure I let you know the day before so you're aware, which I didn't do, and my apologies for that. Brian in, is it Montvalo, Alabama? Good morning. Guy in St. Louis, Rusty in Marquette in the UP of Michigan. Good morning to Michelle in Indianapolis, Catherine in Apple Valley, California. Yeah, as Jim said, yeah, the client promised him more work to come, and then he ghosted him. Yeah, unfortunately, it's a sad story that just happens to us all. I mean, we've had it all had it happen to us. Hey, Tom in New Jersey, what's happening on the Jersey Shore, more specifically? Hey, Matt, what's up? Tim, North Texas. Timothy, Central Pennsylvania. David, South Carolina. Brian, to answer your question, yeah, usually these are almost always, it's verbal. In terms of contracts, I don't use a written contract unless the client needs a written contract. I don't care to do it. Don't feel that I need one. I've never had, rarely have I ever had issue with that. So it's almost always done, by mouth, or if it's an online platform, you've got the agreement stipulated there online. Paul in Greenwood, Kentucky. Ron, Charleston, South Carolina. Andrew, Central Queensland. All right. Matt, Long Island. Good morning, Renee in the Netherlands. New Jersey. Issa in New Jersey. Or is it Isa? My apologies. Janet, Florida. JR in Austin, Texas. Julie in Waterloo, Ontario. Kavira, let's see here. Texas, good morning. All right, we've got Darren in Shropshire, UK. I have learned not to believe the line, plenty of ongoing work. Yeah, right. And some of these things are just, they're hard learned lessons. And that's why I want to share this because, for you guys who are newer, there's nothing new under the sun. The same stuff tends to happen. It's rare. Once you've done this for a while, you will have seen and heard it all. So this is to help you understand some of the things that you're about to experience. Patricia in Buffalo. Oh, CUNY, you're very welcome. Edward, good morning. Dennis in Massachusetts, good morning. Gertie in Belgium, what's up, Gertie? Santiago from Argentina. Awesome, good morning. And Kuini in Nigeria, good morning. So glad you guys are here. And again, I hope the advice is helpful. We'll get together pretty much every weekday morning right around 8-ish a.m. Eastern time. So would love to have you here, and I hope you guys make it a great day. I'm going to do my best to make it a great day, and I'll see you back here tomorrow morning. Take care.